Well, you've got the New Testament scriptures. The questioner has not understood that you have New Testament scripture in Greek, not in Aramaic, not in Hebrew, not in Chinese. If you're not willing to accept the New Testament scriptures, then you aren't a believer yet. Tell me, where does the New Testament scripture make any issue at all about how to pronounce the Father's name as Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever it turns out to be? It doesn't. Therefore, it doesn't matter. Have a life. Jesus said, when you pray, say, Our Father. The brand new thing in the New Covenant is to address God as Father. In Israel, they did as a nation call him Father sometimes, but this is the brand new thing. So why fuss about that when Yahweh is probably right? Doesn't matter. You just create a fuss and you torture yourself and sometimes other people by worrying about it. Have a more relaxed approach and simply accept the New Testament scriptures which are given to us all in the Greek language. It never ever says Yahweh or Jehovah.
I had a email this week pointing to, this is the Net Bible, and they asked a question about this interesting comment by the Net Bible on John 5:44. Right? Now it has a footnote, as you see, and it says several early and important witnesses lack Theou, God, thus reading the only one, while most of the rest of the tradition, including some important manuscripts, has the name.
Has the name? What name?
I guess they mean, is that what they, and I don't know what that is.
Those are various manuscripts. Yeah, including some important manuscripts.
Then it says internally, it could be argued that the name of God, so they're talking about the Tetragrammaton, was not used here. And then look at this, in keeping with the New Testament practice of suppressing the name of God at times for rhetorical effect.
I don't know what that means. You see, those are really words without meaning, and one is always on dangerous ground. Nobody suppressed any names. Scripture in the Greek language doesn't contain the name as pronounced in Hebrew. So forget it. Don't worry about it. Get on with Jesus' command. When you pray, say, Our Father. So all of that to the outside world, Carlos, one must say, presents the Christian faith as a jumble of complicated things that ordinary people couldn't possibly analyze anyway.
What's interesting to me about this commentary, well, first it sounds like they're saying there are some New Testament manuscripts that have the divine name. It sounds like it at first. How can you then say that the New Testament suppresses the name when you just said that some manuscripts do have the name? I don't understand.
I don't understand. I would ask him, okay, which manuscript exactly are you referring to?
Well, they gave you.
Well, would they quote exactly what the Greek says in any one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 samples?
Yeah, so it would be a matter of tracking down those manuscripts if they are New Testament. As far as I know, I've never heard of New Testament manuscripts that have the name. In other words, so
I haven't heard that either. So did Metzger and all the authorities on the Greek text not notice that? Did God make us, operate on the basis of finding some obscure manuscript? How can the public deal with that? I think that would be very unfair from God's point of view.